good morning, everybody. Travels with Dottie here, and we have hit the 17th of September 2025, and yes, I'm still back home, and I have to head into town again. I got another UPS mission. I'm going to talk about that whole thing in a minute, and got to pick up another prescription. That's another kind of thing, a thing that is I'll talk about too, that's kind of frustrating for nomads. But the first thing is that I bought, you see these, you may not be familiar with it, but it's expensive. I have an expensive camera made by DJI. It's called a Pocket 3, and it's a little camera that has a gimbal that rotates. It's real. I mean, you see a lot of YouTubers use it. It's an amazing thing. And I bought a care refresh package from them when I bought it from the company, which means that if you drop it, no matter what, they'll fix it or replace it for free. So I was pretty confident in that. And actually, in the first month, I had to send mine. Stopped charging, so I sent it in and they sent me a new one right away. It was great. Now, more recently in July, I had dropped it and the case cracked and the case started falling off. It was still working, so I called them and they opened the case for me, but they said, look, it could be 3 to 6 months before we can get to you, because they have regulatory problems now. They're a Chinese company. They're battling with the government here, and it's a mess. So I decided, okay, I won't send it to you now because it's working. I'll see how long it'll last, and I won't send it in until it's just not functional anymore. And they said they agreed to that, and I paid. To get the free replacement or repair, it's $30. So I already paid that. So fast forward to last week, where I noticed not only was the back coming off more, but the battery seemed swollen, and that's not good. That's dangerous. So I called to reactivate it, and here's what they said to me. They said, well, we've discontinued. We no longer honor that replacement thing. And it's just a blunt, sorry, it's over. We've canceled them all. You're out of luck. If you want to send it in, you'll have to pay for the repair. And I didn't resist too much, because it's like all they really have to do is maybe replace the battery and put a new plastic back on it that I'm pretty sure snaps on. So I said okay, and they were going to send me a UPS label, which they didn't do. I didn't get it, so I called back today and got someone else, and I explained the whole story, and she's like, that's not right. So she went back to my original ticket that I opened. She said, you opened it, it was approved, you paid your $30, you qualify, so I'm going to reopen that old one and send you a new label. So they ended up doing the right thing, but it's reason to understand that it's important not to give up when you think a company is not treating you right. And a lot of times it takes, you make maybe careful notes, and you call back and try to get someone else and ask questions. So I didn't get angry. I didn't accuse. What I did was, the second caller today, I said, look, let me tell you from my perspective what's happened. And I would just want to tell you the story about what I think happened here, and you tell me whether that makes sense or not. And she listened to me, and she did say that doesn't make sense. She did ask me, do you have the number from the old case that you opened in July? And I did. I gave it to her, and she solved my problem. Mostly probably because I was kind and patient, and I wasn't making accusations. I just wanted to get my issue resolved. So she resolved it. I'm on my way in to the UPS store. The medications. So I have a provider in Quartzsite, Arizona, and decided, I'll be there every winter. So I can, see the doctor once a year. That'd be really convenient. And then so I got prescriptions done, and I just recently ran out of one of the prescriptions. It's just a pill for GERD, for acid reflux. So I through Walmart, I asked for a refill, and it said, there's no refills left. We'll contact your doctor. And they had no luck doing that. So I called, and they said, look, your doctor has left the practice, and you need to come in to get that prescription refilled. And I said, well, I'm not going to be in Quartzsite until December. And they said, well, you'll have to get another provider then, because we can't. No provider here, even with having your medical record, is going to do a prescription for you without seeing you. And I just thanked them, and before I had Medicare, I had an online doctor called Dr. Says, S-A-Y-S, and it's a $25 fee for an appointment. So I just made an appointment. It was a 2-minute conversation with the doctor, and he did the prescription for me. But it did cost me $25. So what's the lesson? The lesson is that this can easily happen to you while you're on the road. So it might be important to have a provider or a practice that will do online as well as in person, which my provider in Quartzsite doesn't do. So I'm going to look into the area here. Since I'm going to be here twice a year, it may be smarter for me to get a doctor here. So that's what I'll do. So I'll look into that. But that's just another thing to be aware of. Some good tips for you. So I'm going to shut this off, and I'm about to get to the UPS store, and I'll check in with you after that when I'm on my way to Walmart. Well, I already have a detour to Second Chance Thrift Store. I've done a video here before, and I need a shirt. I'm going to take a second here. This is the other thing I want to talk about anyway, is, let me get Dottie in the picture. I'm going to New York City next month for 2 nights. And it is because my niece is a very gifted artist, and they're throwing a show for her in New York City. This is a very big deal for an artist. And my brothers and sisters and I are all going to meet there to support her and be with her for that. So there's a big dinner that we're going to have at a nice restaurant after the opening, and all I have is t-shirts. So I need to go into the thrift shop and see if I can find a dressier shirt for that dinner. The other thing I wanted to tell you about is, in Artesia is less than an hour. It's about 30 or 40 minutes from Roswell, and they have an airport there. And it turns out that American Airlines flies out of Roswell Airport, and I got a round-trip flight from Roswell to LaGuardia with 1 stop. There's a very short leg to Dallas-Fort Worth. I think it's less than an hour. And then there are plenty of flights from Dallas-Fort Worth to LaGuardia. So I'll be leaving at 6 in the morning, and I'll get there at 4 in the afternoon, which is an 8-hour total window, but that's going across the country, guys. There's free parking. It's less than an hour drive away. And get this, I got smart, and instead of being Mr. Tech Guy, can you see Dottie there, by the way? Can you? There she is. And going online and just doing it on my own, I decided, well, why don't I try to give a local travel agent some business here? So I went on to the Artesia Facebook page and asked, does anyone know a good travel agent? Several people gave me her name, so I contacted her. And here's what she did for me. I looked it up and I figured this ticket's going to cost me about $600-700. She said, do you have any frequent flyer mileage? And I go, oh, yeah, a long time ago when I was a business guy, but I'm sure those have all expired by now. She said, you know what? They're not expiring miles anymore. Just, can you find your American Airlines frequent flyer number? And it suddenly dawned on me. I smacked my head and I went, the credit card that I use for everything that I pay off every month is an American Airlines Advantage Citibank card that I get points for every dollar I spend. And the frequent flyer number was right there on the card, so I gave it to her. And there was over 100,000 miles available. And my flight, round trip, in October is going to cost me $11. Because all you got to do is pay the tax. It's $11 it cost me. So great, she saved me $600 or $700. So I'm gonna do like I do in all the communities that I live in, Quartzsite, Artesia, Eagle Nest. I promote local businesses. So I said I would be happy to sit down and interview her with her family, with her husband. I think she thinks her husband would be a great addition to the video, and do a video on her. So that'll be coming. She's going out of town, so that's probably not going to happen until probably right before my trip in October. So let's go inside and check it out. We'll check it out, and we'll show you the Second Chances thrift store. And here's the entrance.
And we have umbrellas.
Hi, I'm recording for my YouTube channel. I've done it before. That's okay? All right. So here we go. Look, there's lots of clothing. We'll see if there's a men's section, huh? But let's go through the whole store first, because they have lots of interesting things in here. So different stuff from the last time that we were here, but that's the wonderful thing about stores like this. You always get a surprise when you go in. There's new stuff. You guys might recall that I bought all, for the casita, I bought all the pictures, the framed pictures. I bought them all here. And I'm very happy with them. Look, dog costumes for Halloween. Maybe I'll get Dottie a dog costume. Luggage. And lots of clothes, but let's see if they have a men's section. Men's, I see men's right here. Men's clothing. So I think I have khaki pants and loafers I can wear. So I need a button-down shirt. And how's this one? What size is it though? What does that say? Medium. That's probably too small, but I'll try it. Hang on. Need to turn this off. So this is the nice shirt I got. It'll go great with my khaki pants. I've buttoned it wrong. I just realized that. The buttons are off, but you get an idea of what it looks like. For $5, it's a pretty nice shirt. I don't think anybody in the restaurant will complain about that. All right, we're off to the next destination. All right, we are off to the Brown's Pharmacy, which has they have a UPS station in there to mail that camera back. And I'm happy I got a shirt. I don't need to worry about that. I'm staying in a very old, 1928 hotel in Manhattan with my brothers and sisters. I'm gonna have to share a room with my oldest brother, Tad, and the best we could do was a room with a king bed, so I have to sleep in a king bed with my older brother. But I'll survive. We'll survive that. It's just 2 nights, and it's like you can't get separate rooms unless you're wealthy. I mean, it's like $500 a night. And that's just crazy. But that's what things cost there. So at any rate, I'm excited about going to New York and seeing my brothers and my sisters. So I'll do lots of filming in New York. We're going to see that hotel. We'll see the show where my niece is, where we're going to have that dinner. The next day, we're going to some friends that have a beautiful apartment down near Wall Street, which is near, the 9/11 museum and the memorial and everything. And I don't think I can go down there without going to the memorial again and taking some solemn, respectful video of that site. I do appreciate New York City. A lot of people don't like it, I get it, but I find it exciting. I spent quite a bit of time there in my business years. We owned our corporation was the owner of Bergdorf Goodman, and their store and headquarters is right there on 5th Avenue, right near Central Park. And I used to go there once a month and do business and stay in a nice hotel called the Essex House on Central Park South. So I got to know that part of New York pretty well, and it was
turn left onto West.
It was
head west on West Park Avenue towards South 2nd Street, South 2nd Myrtle Street. Then turn right on. Head west on West Park Avenue.
It doesn't
South
really
3rd
like
Street.
the
Then turn right onto South 3rd Street. Head west on West Park Avenue towards South 3rd Street. Then turn right onto South Roselawn Avenue. Turn right onto South Roselawn Avenue. Then turn left onto West Washington Avenue.
All right, I'm going to listen to what they say. They don't like the route. The Google Maps doesn't like the route I was
Then
taking.
your destination will be on the right.
And it's right here, Brown's Rexall Drugs, right here.
Your destination is on the right.
Anyway, I've always wanted to spend some time. Of all the I've lived in so many great places. I've always wanted to live in New York City for a little while, and I almost did a couple of times, but I never did quite make it. It looks dark in there, but I'm sure they're open. I will be right back, gang. Okay, folks, that was easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. They gave me a receipt. They're going to get that off to DJI, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. And so we're going to go through the town here of my lovely town of Artesia, which I really like this place. There's certain parts of town like this, you see a few houses that are run down and maybe even abandoned, but that's okay. You know what that represents? Those properties represent opportunities for someone that may otherwise not be able to afford a place. They can get a place that's a little run down, take time, work it on themselves, or pay someone to do it over time. So it's opportunity. And there are plenty of beautiful little houses in the same neighborhood. So we're coming into the downtown area, to what they refer to as Main Street, just up where that light is. We're going to stop here. This is Quay Avenue. There's a fly fishing shop right there. They'd be proud there in Eagle Nest. See? Eagle Draw Fly Fishing. And this is Main Street. We're going to make a left here. There's the Wellhead Restaurant and Brew. I want to go there. I haven't been there yet for a meal. I'd like to do that. It's out there on the right. It's called the Wellhead Restaurant and Brew, because this is an oil town. This is all about the oil fields, the patch. And look at this old theater that's abandoned, but it's Land of the Sun Theater. And my dream is hopefully someone will buy that someday and return it to the glory of the old days. It's a Chinese buffet on the corner that I have not tried, that I would love to try. So we're getting outside of downtown now. But I like taking people through my trips here in town. So if you ever come to town, you get a flavor for where things are and what's available. There are lots of little like trailer taco trucks and things that are incredibly good here in town. Really, really good. And again, for nomads, the best way to find out about those kind of things is get on Facebook. I mean, you can have a Facebook account and not even have your picture or anything personal, but get a Facebook account and get into these local Facebook pages for these small communities, and it's an excellent resource. You go out there and ask, hey, are there any good, food trucks in town? And, people will chime in. They love to talk about the things that they love in their town. And, if you get a taco truck that's got 8 recommendations right away, then there's something to that. So it's a great resource for nomads. Local community Facebook pages. Do it. Even if you hate social media, you can set up a Facebook account and not disclose anything about yourself. You can be perfectly safe. Look at that. O'Reilly Auto Parts and Sonic and Burger King. I see a Starbucks way down there. I think, speaking of that, I have coffee here I need to be drinking. All sups, gas stations and convenience stores here, all throughout New Mexico. Fenn's Country Market, that is my go-to supermarket. I love Fenn's Country Market. I do very little grocery shopping in the Walmart here. So what we're going to be looking for a landmark to make our right-hand turn is a Popeye's chicken on the left-hand side, and we'll know we're in the right place. They grow pistachio nuts in Alamogordo, which is not that far from here. You see the sign, big roadside sign. And I'm seeing a Popeye's chicken, which means we make a right. Also it's the way to the Veterans Clinic. There is a Veterans Clinic here in Artesia. And that's what you need. It's here. And I will have to dig into finding a doctor here. AT&T store, and Dollar Tree, and a McDonald's. And you know, there's been there for. I haven't been to this McDonald's at all. I don't go. I go occasionally. I like using. You can get, if you use the app for McDonald's, you can usually get pretty good deals, especially on breakfast sandwiches. Usually you can find them on the app for a couple of like $2. Only suckers pay retail at McDonald's, right? Which makes me a sucker, because I pay retail at McDonald's all the time. But often if you use the app, you can get substantial discounts. And here we are. Now, if you come to this Walmart, go in this way. Pickup is to the right here. You make a right, and I use pickup quite a bit, especially if I have a big grocery day. I'll do my ordering online and do a pickup. They'll even deliver to where I live, but I don't know. I just prefer. I prefer to come. But it's a little hard to find, so that's why I wanted to point it out to you. And there's the auto center, which I've never used. And we have a nice wide parking space here for us, Dottie. And it's getting warm enough, so I'll leave the AC in the car going for the little Dottie dog. So I'm out of Walmart. And when I went to get my prescription, I asked the pharmacist, can you look at my record and see if I'm due for any vaccinations? And he's like, yes, 5. 5? So we decided to do 4. He said, we don't want to do more than 4. So we did 4. And when I come back again next week, maybe I'll do the 5th one, but 5 vaccinations. But they didn't hurt at all. And so far, neither arm is sore, 2 in each. Please, no like vaccination recommendation comments. Please, none of that stuff. I get vaccinations. I'm happy with it. It's not for everyone, but that's what I do, and I'm sticking by that. But I don't want to have a lot of controversy on vaccinations in the comments, please. And I stopped and got my regular foot-long Subway. So good. Club. I have them chop it into 4 pieces, so it can be 2, maybe 3 meals. But definitely, I always eat 1/4 on the way home, and that's what I'm gonna do. Right, Dottie? Are you ready to go home, Dottie? Dottie's ready to go home. So we're gonna go home. And thanks for coming along with me on my my adventure in Artesia doing my errands. Take care. Well, here's the ALK locksmith. It's 8:15. I believe this is South First. It's the main road coming across Artesia, and the number is 575-746-2133, and I highly recommend them. They made my keys for me. Yeah, I noticed they also do automotive remotes, keys, and things like that. So there's a car coming really fast, so I'll be backing off.